All right. Welcome everybody, Mr. Attila Heveshi, Mr. Ed Barsano. I know, go Navy, right out of the gate. So, welcome everybody to another episode of our show, teaching you how to multiply your money and give your money a job. Make sure it's employed, right? All of those things that we tell you at the end. I've got some administrative stuff to start out with, so. Hopefully, and I've asked this and we'll ask a couple of times just to make sure that everybody has it, is that right up against us as we end, we normally go until we run out of smart water. But today we are going to cap it at about a minute or two before 2 hours. Because one of the folks that we're beginning to work with has a very important crypto tax summit that runs right up to the back of what we're doing. And as we've talked about in weeks past, is that financial intelligence for you is expanding its ecosystem, right? If we, through this gentleman, Mr. Ed Barsano, are showing you how to make money in your sleep, the next thing you want to know is how to keep it, how to properly structure your kingdom, and that's what Mr. Mark Kohler and KKOS law firm is doing today in their crypto tax summit. So,
And that is a free event.
and it is a free event. So I know it was last minute, but I know that we put it into our reminder. And if you do or don't have it, that's fine. But we're going to put it in the chat here in just a second, and I'm gonna give it to you a couple of times. So I'll keep mine to a minimum, but I'd like to
And by
welcome.
the way, I must say, Edward, when Mr. Kohler saw what we were doing with the trader, he about his top three assistants and staff that are, this close to him, when they saw and understood what we have here through Mr. Barsano's Go Baby Trade, they all collectively almost fell off their chairs. They said, "We know Mr. Kohler is going to be interested in this and bringing this to his audience." So it's, one hand washes the other. That's the world of
Yep.
business, and so it's exciting.
It puts everybody in a very interesting position, all of our community. And if you've not joined our community yet, then we'll post that as well. But we're gonna be able to offer. Sorry, I'm stirring my tea. We're gonna be able to offer special packages and discounts and memberships and things like that. So stay with us as we grow. But it wouldn't be possible without the genius of Mr. Barsano. Like I said, we're teaching you how to make money in your sleep. Or not us. We're communicating. Mr. Barsano's genius in creating what he's created shows you, not teaches you, um, proof positive how to make money in your sleep. So with that, I'm going to get busy with some expectations. Bear with me. Let me make sure that I can find the right.
Yep.
Goof.
And by the way, folks, while Edward's pulling that up, as always, we go, a little presentation about the trader itself with a lot of input from the creator. And then at the end, we'll do a Q&A. Hopefully we could get to all the questions. If not, you could always email us, and that will be going up in the chat. So keep your eyes peeled for that, along with the special $1,000 discount, because the retail price on this trader is $44.99. But through Crypto Casey and her association with Mr. Barsano, we were able to get a $1,000 discount for everybody that's new on here that does not yet own the trader. That's a 3-year license, by the way. Go ahead, Edward.
Okay, good. So what can you expect today? For those that join us, the repeat offender crew, our community, our beloved community, has heard this before. But if you're brand new, what can you expect today? Transformation, something that the industry says that couldn't have been done, can't be done, has been done by one gentleman. That's Mr. Barsano. You're going to see something today that, if it doesn't change your life to the positive, to be able to take better control of your finances, and better control, I mean 100% control of your finances, then I don't know what's going to move the needle with you. So pay attention, pay close attention to what we talk about. We're going to go over what Mr. Barsano has created in the world's first fully autonomous crypto trading and money management platform, money management being the key, although it is enhanced with AI agents Don't get caught up on the buzz of the AI agents. They're very important, but they're not, as Mr. Barsano says, the star of the dish. The system trades for you 24/7, 365. It doesn't take any days off. Leap year, it may take a half a second off while the system's updating, but then it's working for you all the time. We're going to talk a little bit today about the $1 billion report, which identifies optimal trading opportunities. And we'll make that crystal clear and we'll show you why. You'll get a chance to see two live systems. One is my demonstration or simulated system. By the way, we'll remind you as well, the platform doesn't know that it's simulated. It just knows that it's working. So whether it's live or simulated, it doesn't matter. You're going to see what I've proven, the value of the $1 billion report, and just the amazement of what this platform does all by itself. You don't need any experience. You don't even know how to spell crypto forward or backwards, but it's going to put you in the driver's seat. And if you don't believe it, you're going to believe it. And if still you don't believe it, then I can't help you.
Therapy time.
Right, therapy time, right? So it literally represents the only set it and forget it trading solution that's out there.
Did we lose you?
Pardon me?
Did we lose you? We had like nothing said for like 4 seconds.
No, I heard him.
Yep.
I never heard a break.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Must be on my end.
Yeah, must be. The reception on the moon is a little less than perfect. So you're going to get a couple of announcements today. Right. One, I'll just let them out of the bag. I talked about the crypto summit. I suggest you all take advantage of it. Even if you register it and you're not register for it and you're not able to make it, you'll have 3 days in which to watch the replay, unlike ours, which we post afterwards and you can watch it to your heart's content. And then the other is we announced for the first time last week, we Financial Intelligence for You has created a community, not just for the trader. This is not representative, although we have we are sharing the frequently asked questions and information that is published by this Go Baby Trade System and its parent company. Well, our community is not necessarily representative of everything that Ed Barsano's company does. Now, obviously, and Mr. Barsano, I apologize ahead of time. I forgot to send you the link because every once in a while, don't expect it because they have their own support network and mechanism. But Mr. Barsano and his team obviously have an open invitation to come in and address any questions, concerns that you might have in our community. As we expand our ecosystem, taxes, others, which we'll share along the way, not today, but we'll make announcements as they come live. You'll have an opportunity to understand how you have every tool at your disposal to be whatever you want to be from a financial freedom perspective. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Heveshi. Excuse me, just one moment. I didn't want to blind you with the red. Just open disclaimer. I'm not going to read this word for word. You can ask for it. Nothing's guaranteed. Everything that you see today is for educational. I was going to say emotional, but that's where Mr. Barsano comes in with his therapy. Educational information purposes. We're not tax, financial, legal. You'll hear that from an expert in the next summit that comes after this. But we're offering no guarantee whatsoever. We're not licensed professionals. We're just good guys trying to share how you can make your financial life better, right? Results aren't guaranteed. You're going to see some amazing things that have actually happened, and we're going to deliver facts, not summation, not guesses. We're going to show you what it's done and what it has the potential to do. But you're here at your own risk, and everything as you see is as is. It's not made up. There's no smoke and mirrors. It just is fact. So with that, Mr. Havershi.
Thank you, Edward. Hey, good afternoon, everybody, on this hump day. Congratulations for being here. You could be anywhere at 2 p.m. Eastern on a Wednesday. I think you're very smart and astute for being here because there's really, like Edward said, there's nothing like this on planet Earth. What this man has created is extraordinary. And my job is to just give you a little background of how it is that we met and how this all came about. And as a result, all of you are here listening to Edward and I and Mr. Barsano. So that's a good thing. So first of all, Mr. Barsano's background is very interesting. After he got out of the Navy, several years thereafter, he was actually one of the first 300 people to be hired by Bill Gates at Microsoft and became a very, very top programmer there. Spent about 9 years there, retired a young man. I mean, he was under 40 and continued to be bored to death after a year or two of, driving his Jaguar around, I believe, and taking swims in the pool or whatever he was doing. But he got bored. So he got into the stock market. He bought a lot of tech stocks. And I always say unfortunately, but it's really the other way around. It's fortunate to all of us that he lost quite a bit of his wealth in the 2000 stock market crash. And the reason I say that is because it really ticked him off. And not so much the money he lost, but the fact that he felt like he was robbed. And he went on a mission, and his mission was to create for the average person, not the uber wealthy, a robotic autonomous stock market trading platform that was easy, where people didn't have to gamble. And he actually put that together and in 2001 launched it. I think, Ed, you started that around 2000 and you launched it in 2001. And
Yes.
he did very well. And then in 2012, I met him. I was introduced by a mutual friend. My friend said, Attila, how would you like to trade the stock market, profit from it, but not have to do anything? And I was like, come again? I didn't think I was hearing him correctly. But he said it again, and I said, yeah, that's right up my alley. Tell me more. So he introduced me to Ed. We had a 10-minute little presentation. Well, I'm sorry, with Ed Barsano, nothing's 10 minutes. So it was longer than 10 minutes, but he really explained it well. And I said, I'm in. I bought the license on the spot. And back then he had joined a marketing company, and I joined that marketing company too, trying to get the word out on this. We actually traveled around the country, flew on airplanes, broke bread together, did meetings together in various cities. It was pretty cool. One time we actually walked down the aisle of a airplane with our laptops open, showing people the stock trader. It was hilarious. People's heads were spinning. But the bottom line is, in today's world, in 2025, this is pretty amazing. Can you imagine what it was like back then? It was, nobody even came close to hearing about anything this simple and something that really worked. So this is how it worked. You downloaded software. It took about 60 to 90 minutes. It was cumbersome back then, not like today. But once it was downloaded at 9:30 in the morning, the trader turned itself on, traded for you all day, taking profits, buying more at a lower price. And then at 4 o'clock, shut itself off. And it did this 100% unattended, meaning set it and forget it. You didn't have to partake. You didn't have to do any screen time. So that was amazing. And it just plain worked. So unfortunately, partnerships are very tough in most businesses. So after 2 years of that partnership with that marketing company, Ed decided to protect his brand because it was getting a little jaded, and went back to being on his own. And, he did well. But in 2018, give or take a year, I'm not sure the exact year, but he sold out to a hedge fund that had purchased previously quite a few licenses from Ed. And then some of the folks, especially one gentleman we know out in California, some of the folks that had previously bought the trader license for the stocks, were trying to convince him to do a trader for crypto. And at first he ignored it. He was busy doing this, doing that. And then he said, you know what? Let me look into this. And he did that. And he launched it in April of 2021. Now, we got to fast forward the story slightly to March of 24, and by the way, my background's been purely financial most of my life, with one exception. After college, I worked in the airline industry for about 2, 3 years, but from like graduated college in 80. So from about 83 on, I've been in the world of finance. One thing or another, financial planner. I raise money for various projects, mining projects, this, and that. I don't want to bore you with the details, but let's fast forward to September 2020, literally 5 years ago. I decided on purpose, proactively, to get in and learn as much as I could about this whole digital money revolution, blockchain, decentralized finance, crypto, etc. And best move I ever made by far. And then 3.5 years later, which was 18 months ago, March of 24. I'm sitting there and I had a little bit of a rough day at the office. And I said to myself, I got a nice crypto portfolio, but I'm a cash flow guy. I want to have passive cash flow and I want my crypto to earn more crypto on itself. That's the goal. And I'm like chewing on it. I'm like, how the heck am I going to do that without losing the amount of money I lost trying to find that over the previous 3 years? Because I lost quite a bit of money in 5 various blockchain projects getting cash flow. Now I made some money in those, but overall I lost. And that's never fun. Um, so here's what happened. A day later, it hit me between the eyes. I'm like, I thought of my friend Ed Barsano, and I'm like, my gosh, I'll bet my life on the fact that somewhere in the last 3 to 4 years, he created a cryptocurrency trader, just like the old stock trader. So I still had his phone number in my phone. I called him. We spoke for 3 hours and he confirmed my hunch. He said, yeah, I launched this April of 21. And he said, Attila, as soon as I turned that thing on, about an hour later, I said, I'm done with the stock market. And he said, this is light years ahead of the stock trader. And I'm like, tell me why. And he did. He gave me 4 compelling reasons. Number one, stocks trade 5 days a week, 6 hours a day. Crypto's 24/7. That's a big advantage. Number two, he said, um, you need extreme volatility to make money in any kind of trading. And there's no asset class on earth with more volatility than crypto. And I agreed again. But really, when it comes right down to it, number three and number four were the ones that got me. Because number three, he said, Attila, it's not downloadable software anymore. I made it web-based. I didn't know what that meant exactly. So I asked and he said, look, I could have you connected to your Coinbase account in less than 10 minutes trading live. And I said, what? So I said, let's do it. I bought the license on the spot, and in about 8 or 9 minutes, I had just under 10 grand connected to my Coinbase trading live. Now, folks, I got to tell you, that was a world of difference from 2012. So I was really glad to see that. But number four is the one that got me. And the reason it got me is because what I just told you about 5 minutes ago, me losing all that money in various blockchain and DeFi crypto projects. He said, I created an API connection to your own Coinbase and your own Kraken account. So you and only you control your money. What does that mean? Safety and security of your funds. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is more important than that in this space. Let me help you with that. And Ed, self-admittedly, Ed is not a sales and marketing guy. He's a programming genius, and he's developed something nobody else has. But that's what I've been doing all my life. Same thing with Edward. So this is a wonderful marriage. And you know what? There's only two things I ask of everybody. As we go through this today, keep two things in mind. When we say set it and forget it, we truly, truly mean that. There's zero screen time required here. Once you go live, there's nothing for you to do. Like literally, you could be, remember those commercials for the Maytag repairman, where he's sitting there like this, all bored because nobody's calling because those machines were so reliable? That's literally the scenario with your trader. You don't have to do anything. It's making money for you on Ed Barsano's servers. So the number two thing that I'd like everybody to take real seriously and understand what this man has brought forth to the world. It's never been done. Without anybody being an accredited investor, without anybody knowing anything about trading, without anybody knowing anything about the world of crypto, you could now make money in your sleep with this platform. It's never been seen before, never been done before. So, Mr. Barsano, we're so grateful for your efforts over the years and your genius and all this. But before I turn it over to you, Ed, I want to give my business partner, Edward, to show something incredible. Edward, if I'm not mistaken, next Thursday, the 25th, will be 6 months since you changed your simulations, your paper trading strategy, right?
Yes. Yes.
Show folks what's happened because those numbers are pretty mind-boggling.
Again, excellent. Thank you. I'll say again, the simulation that I'm going to show you is the real live system, but it's just not connected to Coinbase. I've got my personal accounts are, but this was something that I did to prove the value. Remember in the beginning, I said the $1 billion report, and I'll tell you how the two are connected. But let me go ahead and share with you what I did. So I'm going to flash the $1 billion report for 1 second. I'm not going to steal Mr. Barsano's thunder because it always comes up in the Q&A. But what I call the $1 billion report is actually called the high trade count. So this is a report that comes out every month that has I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Barsano, this is a back test of profitable trades within the system. Why do I say profitable trades? Write this part down.
All trades are profitable.
Write this part down. The platform is programmed to never sell at a loss, ever. Unless you manipulate it and you do it manually, it will never sell at a loss. It will collect inventory, and you'll understand why that's super important, but it never sells at a loss. So about like Mr. Heveshi said about 6 months ago, almost 6 months ago, what I did was I took the top rated, and when I say top rated, they're not rated by anybody, but they are rated by themselves in the number of profitable trades. So annual, monthly average, lowest, and then an 8-month trail. And everybody knows that in the last 6 months ish, the market has been flat to down as much as 50%. So keep in mind when you see these results, these are in a down market. In a down market. So let me go back to the trader. So that's where those symbols came from. I didn't do a whole lot of research in figuring this out. Mr. Barsano and his team's genius in writing information to reports that make it easy for you to prosper is how I got it. So Bonk, Ando, Pepe, Whiff, Zora, I put in there because somebody about a month ago had asked why wasn't Zora on the list. It's a relatively new coin. It can't be on the list because it's a year look back. So if it's under a year, you're going to see some that have just recently been issued that won't show up on that report. So you won't be able to judge their performance by the $1 billion report. So look above with Pepe, Ando, Bunk. I started the simulation with $100,000 a week away from 6 months ago. It has taken, in my sleep, $42,489.91.
Wow.
By itself.
That's crazy.
Right. We'll talk a little bit about you being able to manage the profits. You can have it save it all. You can have it compound all, or you can do some derivative of that. And we'll talk in more detail. But in the last 30 days, it's made $3,700. Today, the market's still pretty flat, although 15 minutes ago, the Fed just announced a 1/4 point cut, which I think is going to be, just my opinion only, probably the start of 3 or 4 more, which makes money more accessible, which makes volatility higher. So I think you're going to see that happen. And another Edwardism is I say this platform eats volatility.
Mm-hmm.
It's millions of lines of code that literally analyzes things at a millisecond level that no trade can escape the genius of what has been created. So with that, we'll talk a little bit more about this. Mr. Barsano will show one of his live accounts, and then we'll give you a little bit more detail. We'll tell you what each piece of the dashboard means. All of the bells and whistles, including a brilliant frequently asked questions version that was just released, which covers will answer as many questions that you have today. If not, you can email us. And if there's something that you can't find in the frequently asked questions, it's probably been asked before, but you can email us and we'll give you those supports, right? So with that,
awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Edward. All right, it's such a pleasure to always introduce Ed Barsano, who at this point usually has some comments on what was just said. But today it's especially exciting for me to introduce him because yesterday I got a glimpse of some upgrades to the trader that actually some enhancements I haven't even seen yet. And I thought they were brilliant because if anybody has, from this point forward, if anybody has a question that You can never say, I have a question that hasn't been answered yet. Because, I mean, you talk about a response literally on everything that's on that main screen that Edward just shared. It's a mind boggler. So, Ed Barsano, the floor is yours. And before we get into the Q&A somewhere, please show everybody those enhancements, which I just love.
Man, we are 30 minutes into this conference. People must be chomping at the bit to
They
see an
are.
Autotrader, but you're not going to see it yet.
Teaser.
I have my opinions, my things. Attila, when you were talking about, like you said, like the four greatest things, that I said, that make crypto so much better. One of the things that's really interesting is that in the stock market, prices move along. They move around. They move up, they move down. In the crypto market, prices jump around. And that's gold to an auto trader.
Mhm.
Because if you're sitting on inventory positions that are down, and then the price jumps up here, you sell all this off. Everything. If the price was down here and you were buying more at the higher price and you're holding those, and then all of a sudden the price jumps, all this goes away. You just sell it all off at a profit.
No more potato chips on the shelf.
Yeah, well, Edward, that's a good example. The example Edward's talking about is I mentioned one time. I said, well, if I'm running a 7-Eleven or a Quick Mart, those little stores, and I only have one bag of potato chips on the shelf, and a school bus full of kids pulls in, how many bags of potato chips am I going to sell? One, because that's all I got on the shelf. You need to have inventory. If you had 20 bags of chips on the shelf and a school bus full of kids pulls in, you're going to sell 20 bags of chips. You need inventory. And what I say about the crypto market is you can't own enough inventory. Don't even worry about it. Let it load up. When the prices are going lower, let that thing buy. And let me give you an example here. I'm going to share my screen real fast. And I'm going to go to this coin market cap. And I'm going to show you, because I'm trading L3, layer 3, because it's, if I look here at the highest trade count report, it's number 5 on the list, L3. See it down here at number 5? There it is. And it does about 732 trades last year, averaging 46 trades a month. Okay? So if I go back to, where was I? What was I showing you here?
You were showing L3 right
Oh,
there.
here it is, L3, coin market cap.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to show you what happened just a few weeks ago. Look, it said, or no, let's say a month ago. Let's just show it here. Here it is here on, and I just bought, and I just happened to load up on this coin because the auto trader was buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling in here. But I had all this, I had some inventory. Not a lot of inventory, unfortunately. Because look at how the coin jumped up. All of a sudden, I mean, it just instantly just jumped, 60% or 50% up. And then within a couple of minutes, boom, it dropped back down on the same day. So that's the beauty here is on the same day that it went up 50%, it came back down. So when it jumped up like that, all the inventory, all the inventory that I was sitting on, I call it inventory, any positions that I had loaded up on, it just sold off at a beautiful 50% profit. And then it went right back down and the trader bought it back again and we're on our way again doing what we do, buying and selling, buying and selling. So so if you have a lot of inventory when that jump happens, you make a fortune. I mean, you can look at almost any coin. Let's look at Bonk, for instance. I pulled that out of thin air. But it's the same thing. When a coin jumps up here, any inventory you bought while it was down here in the trenches, down at the bottom, that all sold off. Even these here, when it goes down, I mean, this is beautiful. What a beautiful chart. That's a 1-month chart on Bonk. This is gold to an auto trader because you're loading up while it's going down here. And then as it's going up, anything you bought down below, you're selling off.
It's gold to an auto trader, but it's kryptonite to a buy and holder.
Oh, it's deadly. You know, you're missing everything. You're missing all the action. A buy and holder goes in at the top, praying that it's going to go higher, and then the coin drops down here, and they're not even trading. They're missing all this. They're like sitting, you know, throwing silver dollars in a drawer, and you're missing 1,000 trades, you know, that you could be making, you know, on the up and down action. And what's nice about buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling is this: every time you sell, that's real money in your hand. Go out and do what you want with it. Go buy a new car. I did last year. I bought a new car, you know, with all my free money, you know, that my auto trader cranks out. It's just you lose all value of money once you have an auto trader, because it's just free money. You know, it's not like you're going out to work, you know, it's just the money just keeps coming.
But it makes
And
the end of the money a little bit easier when you have more money at the end of the month versus the other way around.
well, yeah, and then anytime the coins jump up, like when it went up here, even or especially up here, anything you bought down anywhere in here is all gone. You already sold it all off profitably. And then it goes back down and you load up again and you let the game begin again. Here's a 1 year chart. You know, you just got all this free action. And if I bought a few positions up in here that I haven't sold yet, look over here. When it went there, anything below that line, so right there, anything below that, you sold off profitably. So all this is all gone. You might be still holding a couple of positions you bought there and maybe or there, if you bought any up there, I don't know. But you know, down there you might have bought one, but then you sold it off there, and if you bought it there, you sold it off there. So you'd have bought it here, and maybe you're still sitting on that one, but then when it went up there, you just sold it all off, that extra one that you were holding. But you don't care about that one because you got hundreds of trades down here you're making. Just buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. It's virtually free money. If I show you a bucket and a well, if I tell you, if the bucket, now see, I like to talk about why the auto trader works. That's the important thing here, because these are facts. These are undisputable engineering, if you want to call it, indisputable math. Math doesn't lie. If a bucket in a well, if the bucket goes all the way down and gets the water and goes all the way back up and dumps it out, no one disputes that. Everything's okay. Bucket went down, got the water, went all the way back up and dumped it out. However, the bucket can't go halfway down and then go back up, and there'd be no water in it. It's got to go to the bottom. That's the problem with a bucket and a well with water. But if you're talking about cryptos, it doesn't have to go all the way down. It doesn't hardly have to go down at all for you to buy more. So let's look at it. It goes down a little, buy, up a little, sell. Free money. Buy, sell. Free money. There's no, now when you watch this, you're gonna say this can't be real. Other people have said that. And I'm like, I don't know why you think that. There's no reason it's not real. It goes down a little, it goes up a little, and you sell. It goes down a little further. Now I'm still holding this one. I'm still holding that one. But this one here, I'm buying and selling over repeatedly. Just repeatedly, free money, free money, free money. And now I'm holding 3 of these, right? It's okay. Now I'm going to buy and sell here multiple times. And then and all of a sudden it jumps up there, you sell all that off. There, it's all gone. You just made all that profit. And this is for the rest of your life. Well, that's the beauty about the robotic trader. And I've never had any competitors since 2001, since I released my robotic traders to the public. People are just in denial. It's like, I don't see how you don't see the obvious. It's free money. This isn't even gambling. This is free money. This is how all commerce is done for 1,000 years or more. How is commerce done? If I'm running a store, what do? You buy product at one price from a distributor, you put it on the shelf, and you sell it at a higher price. Am I doing anything different than that? Now, if I was running a 7-Eleven, if I was actually going to sit down, now I've never started a 7-Eleven, all right? But if I was actually going to create a 7-Eleven probably at some point you're going to sit down with the distributor and he's going to say, what product do you want to put on your shelf? Right? You're going to ask that question. They're going to say, what do you want to put on your shelf? And well, let's bring up the highest trade count report. This monthly report that comes out each month. And he's probably going to come up with a report like this, and he's going to say, well, here are the top moving products at the top. What are these? Monster drinks, candy bars, potato chips. What else? Edward, Attila, you got any ideas?
Lottery tickets.
You know they're going to sell. They sold a lot of those last week, right?
Mallow
Yep.
cups.
What are that? What's that?
Mallow cups.
I never heard of it.
You want to tell us something that somebody's heard of?
All right, how about
favorite?
how about iodine? Do you think they're going to want to sell iodine in your 7-Eleven? You know where iodine would be on this list if they actually did sell it? At the bottom. Why? Because you're lucky to sell that 17 iodines or
Well,
Lysol.
you're gonna if you're not using an auto trader and you get cut up in the market, you're gonna need that iodine.
See, here's the problem with the way people trade, and I've looked at hundreds, if not thousands. I don't want to say thousands, that just sounds like a really super lot, but hundreds for sure. I've looked at so many people's traders. Here's Bitcoin over here on line 359. So many people are just sitting on Bitcoin, and it's just dead money. I mean, if you're waiting for it to double in value, fine. Go ahead and buy your Bitcoin, sit on it, and let it sit there, and hope it's going to double or in your lifetime. All right, but by the time Bitcoin goes to $100,000 or $230,000, which is where it's got to go today to double its value, I can sit here and watch these other coins that are, look at this price, not even a penny. This one here is only a penny. You know how easy it is for that 1 cent coin to go to 3 cents overnight? Do you expect Bitcoin to go to 300,000 overnight? But I've watched these other coins jump like that. I've watched ACH, Alchemy Pay. You know, I watched it go from 2 cents, 2.2 cents to 5.6 cents in 4 days, which is 150% return. That would be like Microsoft going from the, what's it at now, 115,000 to about 300,000 or 400,000 overnight. It's not going to happen. So I don't want to trade junk that is down here that isn't turning inventory, these coins. There are so many, there are 10,000 coins out there that are just junk. And people are tying up all their money in that junk when they could tie it up in the coins that are turning inventory. If I'm opening a 7-Eleven, I'm going to put product on my shelf that moves a lot. And you guys can test this out. I really expect people to do this stuff when I talk about it. When you go to a 7-Eleven, next time you're in it, or a Quick Mart, one of those stores, take a look. Look at the people checking out as they're paying. Look at what they bought. Fast moving stuff. They're turning inventory. I watch them all the time. They're getting coffee, they're getting cold drinks, monster drinks, that kind of stuff, candy bars. Look at that stuff. Potato chips. Look at what they're buying. They're buying all the stuff that they're turning inventory, and that's what the 7-Eleven is all about, turning inventory. You wouldn't fill up your shelves in a 7-Eleven and then lock the door and wait for all the products to appreciate in value. You just want to buy it and sell it. If you were a cab driver, I know a little bit about this stuff. My dad was a cab driver in the 60s, okay? And he told me he's not driving somebody around. He's not taking the long route to take his time getting there to make more money. The name of the game is turn inventory. You want to get somebody in the cab and get them out of the cab. That flag they used to have, when he pushes that thing down, then that thing right away, that immediately charged so much, like a $1.50 right away. That's the inventory. You want to quickly get that $1.50 and then get that person out and get another person to do the flag again, another $1.50. You don't want to drive around getting 30 cents a mile, or whatever it was back then. It might have been a nickel a mile, I don't know. But you want to get them in, get them out, get them in, get them out. It's the same thing in all of commerce. What I've done with the stock trader is, or the stock and crypto traders, is I've done the same business. I said, we're just going to turn inventory. Where does this fail? Where does the bucket in the well fail? Here's where most people have a problem mentally. They want to put all their money in up here at once. I get emails every single day saying, how do I get my auto trader to use more of my money? And I'm like, well, if I put it all in up here, because that's what you're dying to do, is just throw it all in because you saw an up day. That excited you. You saw one up day and you said, wow, I want to be all in. Okay, then you go all in up here. You don't have any money to trade down here. You're dead. And you know what? That right there is millions of people in the market. That's exactly what they do. Are you one of those millions? Because that's what they do. That's what they're doing wrong. They go all in up here and they don't have any money to trade down here. I've had people actually call me and say to me, Ed, the market's down. Let's go back to that, like L3 was, I thought that was a good example. I thought that chart looked cool. The market's down here, and people say, the market's going down. Should I stop my auto trader from trading? And I'm like, no, I'm not an investment advisor. However, don't stop your trader from trading at the bottom. Load up. The money, the biggest money you're going to make is what you bought at the bottom, is all that inventory you're going to sell off. Let's look at Alchemy Pay. Let's just look at last month, maybe. All this inventory you're doing down here, all this buying and selling and stuff you're holding down here, when it goes up like this, when you get a jump like that right there, everything below that point right there, everything you bought, look, is all gone. Everything you did down here is all gone, sold. It goes higher up there, anything you did below that is all gone. I mean, it's all just sold off profitably. I mean, the system is literally just free money. And this is the beauty. This is what you don't see in the stock market. You see that line straight up? That's what I'm talking about. In the crypto market, in the stock market, stock prices mosey along. They go up and they go down. But look at all these straight lines. In the crypto market, the prices are jumping around, and the auto traders having a field day, man. I mean, I was doing literally stocks for 21 years until 2021. And when I turned on that crypto trader in 2021 for the first time, Attila was right. I said, oh my God, I'm done. And he said an hour later, no. Minutes later, I said, oh my God, I'm done with the stock market, man. I mean, stocks are cool, you know? I mean, we were trading Microsoft at $30, Bank of America at $10. I used to tell audiences, you know, live audiences, we didn't have Zoom back then. I used to tell audiences, I'd say, do you think Bank of America is going to go out of business anytime soon? And it was sitting at $10, and everybody goes, no. I'm like, trade the heck out of it. It's free money. Because it's just numbers doing this. It's free money. And that's all the market really is free money. And I know you have a hard time grasping that. Millions of people have a hard time grasping that. I can't say that on the internet. If I go to the internet and I even try to go to a discussion board, any discussion board on crypto, it's like, do you guys want to talk about crypto? I mean, it's a crypto board. If I go to a dog board, can we talk about dogs? I mean, or what do you want to talk about? Cats on a dog board? I mean, we're on a crypto board. Can we talk about crypto? If I even try to talk, they say, get out of here, scammer. They don't want to hear it. But if you ask them, so do you think Bitcoin will go to 500,000 by next Sunday? which is the dumbest question in the world, right? He'll get 50 responses. Everybody will be nice. They'll be joking with him. They'll be, yeah, let's have a good time. He asked the stupidest question in the world, but let's have a good time and talk about it. It's like, how about we talk about free money in the market? The market is literally free money, and you guys are out here gambling. Why are you gambling when the market's throwing this money at you? It blows my mind. And it's been this right now. You do realize, everybody, this is a therapy session for me. This is how therapy works. The client lays down and talks, and the therapist listens. You guys, I got all you therapists listening to me. I'm just getting it off my chest, and I can't help it because it still destroys my brain that everybody can't see the absolute obvious. It's free money for life. If you do proper money management, if you don't go all in and you actually break up that money and reserve money so that when it goes lower, you have money down here to trade. The name of the game is never run out of money, and the auto trader makes sure you never run out of money. And that's another thing. People don't understand percentages. I had someone, and I'm not putting you down if you happen to be on here listening. Don't feel bad. But I had someone tell me, how come I'm only making 5 cents a trade? Okay, well, what do what are we looking at here? I mean, it's okay to make 5 cents a trade. It's based on how much money you have. I mean, if you're trading with a lot of money, you might be making a lot more per trade. I mean, I make here's my profits, my filled orders on my trader down on the lower right. $129 a trade, $151 a trade, $87 a trade. I make whatever the market wants to give me and how much money I have to trade. Here's $69. There's $112. When I'm trading, Attila, you asked me a while ago, you made a comment. You said, look at all the money you made, over the last 3
Right,
years. Total
right.
profits taken, $350,000.
Yep.
And I said I didn't make that, and you were like, and I threw you off because you're looking right at it. It says total profits taken since February 7, 2023. You said, but it shows that you made that. I said I don't care. I didn't take that. I don't remember ever taking $350,000. I took this.
Hmm.
I took the Wiggles, and they added up to $350,000. Now, if you're trading with a $100 or $200, you might make 5 cents a trade. However, that 5 cents a trade still could add up to 100% a year profits. I mean, here's a top trader report over the last year.
Yeah, let me
This guy,
stop you here for a second, Ed. For those of you that I know we have a lot of new people today, and a common question we get is, how much money should I start with? Well, we can't tell you that because we're not financial planners. There's no guarantee. But what we can show you is other traders, the top 50 people that bought licenses and are actually using the Go Baby Trade platform, all these different amounts they started with. This is real. These are real people. So go
these
ahead,
are
Ed.
real traders.
Yeah.
There's no gameplay here. This guy started 12 months ago with $3,000, 3,178. And he took $15,000 of profits off the table in physical profits. That's his money. Do what you want with it. That's a 477% return. I don't know of any place I can invest my money and watch it just take free money like that. This one here started with $1,300, and he took in 1 year $3,432 of profits. That again is a 255% return. When you start dividing this money up, like if I took $3,000, what is 3,000 divided by 365 days? Equals 3,000 divided by 365. $8 a day on average. Okay, that's it. But that wasn't what he didn't make $8 a day. He might have made 20 cents in 1 day. He might have made nothing for 3 days. And he might have made $32 on another day. When you add it all up and you look at it in a whole year, that is 100%, over 100% a year return. And that's what it's about. It's about, to me, it's about percentage returns. You know, my goal is if I'm happy if I get 50 to 100% in a year profit. And remember, we've been in a down market for the last 4 years straight. That market's been trending down and going lower and lower, but it's been wiggling the whole time. It wiggles the whole time it's going down. So you're constantly buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling, and those profits add up. For instance, ACH, look at ACH here. I started trading that one, you know, back in 23, February of 23. And I've taken $150,000 of actual profits, closed positions P&L. And I'm sitting on 51,000 of open inventory. That means I've got, and if I look at the lots, the number of buys that are above that I bought that went down I've got 18. I call them lots, LOT. 1 lot, 2 lots, 3 lots, 18 lots. So I've got all that inventory. Each finger here is an inventory, 1 lot. I've got 18 of these fingers above the current price. So anytime, say the current price jumps up to here, all these sell off at once. Boom, free money. I mean, if I look, I mean, the market went crazy on January. It was January this year.
27th.
January 27th.
Yeah.
Look what happened to ACH. It's just started selling off. On the 26th, actually, it started selling off. Look at all this inventory that I started selling off because the coin started jumping straight up. And the auto trader's like, hey, man, free money. I'm selling everything off that I bought down here. I'm going to sell it off at a higher price. So there's $2,200 of free money, $2,000 of free money, $634, $61. Whatever the market wants to give me. I'm not here to dictate to the market. And while it was going up, the auto trader was doing this. Open. It was buying more while it was going higher. So it was adding to winners. So that's the beauty about the auto trader. This is millions of lines of code that I've been developing since 2000. The software is smart enough so while it's going down, it buys more and you accumulate. But while it's going up, you're selling all that inventory off that you bought before. But at the same time, while it's going up, it pulls back a little. And the auto trader adds to while it's pulling back. And then when it goes higher, it sells that inventory off also. So what I bought here, literally I bought this one bought at 8:47 a.m. And then it's sold. You can see the shares match right here. The quantity matches. So I know it's the same position. It sold it off. What is that, a half hour later? I mean, it sold. So it bought it at 30 cents or 3 cents and sold it at 3.4 cents. It's like, hey, give me free money. You want to give me $516 for free? I'll take it. And the auto trader, so during that one period, that 4 days, it went from 2.2 cents to 5.6 cents. And the auto trader just had a field day, just giving me all that free money.
Hey, Ed, let me just say something.
And where was I while it was happening? I don't even think I was watching it while it was happening. I might have been at a grocery store or just out at lunch. Because the auto traders run 100% unattended on my servers.
Let me point something out. Keep it on that screen. Don't change anything. If everybody puts their attention to the filled orders down below, and the first 3 are all 8:09 a.m., 4:45 a.m., 3:01 a.m., 1:13 a.m., the first 4. I mean, that's what I mean about set it and forget it. Obviously, with the exception of maybe the first
Here's
one.
1:13 a.m. I know I would have been probably just going to sleep right there. You know?
Yeah.
And who's even looking? That's the beauty of this thing's running day and night, 24/7, just stalking the market. I mean, and it's like, I mean, it's the most beautiful tool in the world. It's a tool everybody, if they, I don't want to say had the intelligence. Maybe it's not an intelligence thing. if they had the confidence to believe that it could be real. That's the thing. Because most people are in denial. They're just in denial. They don't.
I got to chime in. I'm going to give folks some homework that we're always studying behind the scenes. The brightest minds in the decentralized finance and crypto world don't believe this. And if you don't believe that they don't believe this, I'm going to post to YouTube. Here's a little bit of homework for you.
All right, should I get off the screen right now?
No. I'm going to put it in the chat. So if anybody's ever heard of a gentleman by the name of Raoul Paul, and a couple of other brilliant people, I'm going to post a YouTube link that I just watched. It's rather long, but if you're here, you're used to long. But I want you to reflect upon what you're seeing today and how Mr. Barsano said, not the intelligence, but the guts to understand and believe that this is real. I'm going to post this link. I want you to do your homework.
Why? What does it say? Just tell us.
No. Well, here. So
just go to the one.
Yeah, we don't want to beat around the bush. We want to share it. Let's share it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you what you're going to see. You're going to see the brightest minds on the planet in finance and crypto, and Raoul Paul is one of the leaders of the pack.
He's a former. Let me just say that he was a former for over 25 years. He was a former Goldman Sachs executive, which is as TradFi as you could get, traditional finance. And then the last 9 years, he's been in DeFi, crypto, blockchain, etc. So take it from there. Go ahead.
So the punchline you're going to look for when you watch this.
1 hour and 3 minutes.
And he's one hour and 3 minutes in.
Yep.
And he is 100% in crypto. He made the statement, and listen to this statement. And by the way, we're actually going to be talking with him to let him know that he has a different choice in statements. But he says, real passive income with no effort is a myth.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
There you go. Welcome to my world, folks.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world.
unless you don't believe the facts that you're hearing and seeing today, then there is a break in the.
It's criminal. They've got millions of people brainwashed into believing that they have to gamble in the market. And I'm like, I don't see where the gamble is. All I see is free money everywhere I look. They're literally throwing money at you. All it takes is proper money management. And
a machine that thinks at a millisecond, that has millions of lines of code, that took 50 years of programming prowess and 25 years of experience. As I said, listen for that little tidbit that real passive income with no effort does not exist. Well, let me tell you how smart you are that you are here seeing this. You're going to see it. You may not believe it, but I can't help you with your belief system. But proof is in the pudding, right? ACH, as Mr. Barsano just articulated, he's holding $51,000 in inventory, but he's taken $150,000. Not he, this system by itself in his sleep over a period of time. Those profits are real. So now you ask the question yourself: Does real passive income with no effort exist? Not outside.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sorry he said that, because I don't know if he's trying to pull a fast one over the public or if
he's not trying to pull a fast one. He doesn't know you. He doesn't know what you've created.
He shouldn't. See, you're only listening to somebody who has limited knowledge. You know, they come out, you know, they're real smart. Maybe I don't know how or why they got in these positions. And he probably is really smart in the areas that he's in. He he's not opening his eyes. He's not looking at how a 7-Eleven works. They put product on the shelf and they sell it at a higher price. It's not rocket science. We know that that's real. And we know a bucket and a well works. If it was water, it's going to go all the way to the bottom and get the water and go all the way back up. But with crypto, it doesn't have to go all the way down, and it doesn't have to go all the way up. I didn't say buy at the bottom and sell at the top. I said just buy anywhere and just sell it at a higher price. And if it goes lower, buy more at a lower price. See, this is the beauty. Picture the toll booth industry, a very simple concept, okay? And you can Google this. Everything I know on this, on a lot of this, is off the internet. The toll booth industry in this country is a multi-billion-dollar a year business. How much money are they taking to you? Are they taking $50 from you every time you go through a toll booth? No, they're taking $1 or $1.50. They're just, the name of the game is keep selling, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Keep taking free money. It adds up. Now, the difference between a regular toll booth and Go Baby Trade, if Go Baby Trade was a toll booth, a regular toll booth parks the toll booth out on the highway and waits for cars to come to it. If Go Baby Trade was a toll booth, Go Baby Trade chases the car down the highway. So when the car comes through the toll booth and pays, the car goes by, and then the toll booth jumps ahead and says, "Pay me again." And then if he tries to go further again, he pays, he tries to go past it, the toll booth jumps in front of him again, says, "Pay me again." I've got an animation of that. Let me share it real fast.
While you're doing that, Ed, it's not a rebuttal or a dispute, but a comment on Raul Paul's comment that I posted the video and talked about is that it's not that he's not smart and doesn't know. The dude's one of the renowned experts in the crypto field. But let me give you an analogy, right? 200 years ago, somebody said, "I'm going to make a plane and fly," right? Leonardo da Vinci, thousands of years ago, created documentation that you could fly, but nobody did it. It was all theory, right? Everything that these people are waxing eloquently about is theory up until now. What you've created, and sometimes, and this is a compliment to you, sometimes you do not understand the depth of what you created for everybody. You live it and breathe it every day. You enhance it every day, which you're going to show. We talked about some of that stuff, but it literally doesn't exist. You put somebody that is an expert in their place because they simply haven't seen the technology you've created.
Right.
Cars, one of my kids' favorite movies.
All right, you can see this car. All right, when you create an animation or you pay someone for an animation, you never get really what you really want, all right? This is the best that I got, okay? I paid someone for this, not a lot, just to show the concept of chasing the car, all right? Car's driving down the highway, and here's Go Baby Trade. Gonna make him pay. Now, see, I didn't ask for all this, but I did ask for make him pay.
That's brilliant.
And then after he pays, it's not a fine, but you know, you get what you pay for. You get whatever they give you when you ask for an animation, right? You know, then he drives along and he tries to get away from the toll booth. He turns around and goes the other way, and we say, "Nope, pay me again." And he's trying to get away from the toll booth, but the toll booth won't let him. Keep paying me. That's what it's all about, is keep paying me, keep paying me, keep paying me. You gotta, and that's what Go Baby Trade is. We don't let the price get away from us. Wherever the price goes, we go. Wherever the price goes, we go. Even now, if he tried to go, here it is. He tried to get off the highway and go to his house, and the toll booth is there. Say it, pay me again.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And well, I just try to show people what, give you all the examples I could give you of how it's just free money. I mean, it's not rocket science, I mean, it's like I'm the tax man, you attach yourself to a coin and you say, now for the rest of your life, you got to keep paying me. Anytime you wiggle, if you go down a little, go ahead, I'll buy more at a lower price. Now think about how diabolical that is. Why do they lower prices? Does anybody even ever think of that? Do you really think it's just random that prices are going lower and lower? No, the whales, the wealthy, are loading up at these lower prices. They're trying to get the little guy out. They're trying to, and you may be the little guy. You may be the guy that says, I can't take it. These prices are going too low. My account's going, value is going down. I want out. Just sell it at a loss. You know why? Because a guy that, if a wealthy guy that wants to buy $30 million worth of a coin, he needs a lot of little guys selling their $300 or their $3,000 worth of coins. He needs you dumping your shares because he can't buy $30 million worth. Now, that's only one guy. I mean, how many people are on the House and the Senate? Okay, think about it. Ever since they did the crypto summit at the White House back, I think it was February, the market's gone straight down. All of a sudden, we haven't been, where's the activity? You know, where the volatility slowed down, the trend of the market started going down. Why? Because all the whales, the wealthy, want to buy at lower prices, and they need to get the little guys out. And if they don't lower the price, the little guy's not going to sell. So they lower the prices. This is just my theory, okay? I'm nobody. But I mean, I have a theory that, and I think I'm right. But anyways, they're lowering the prices. And I say, fine, if you know, I'm the opposite of Hillary Clinton. Hillary, and I'm not political at all, but I'm just saying, Hillary, I remember her on TV. She said, when they go low, we go high. Not me. When they go low, I go low. You want to go lower? You want to lower that price? I'll buy more at a lower price. Now what are you going to do? I used to say this with Microsoft when Microsoft was sitting at $30 a share, when their price was going lower and lower. I'm like, fine, you want to keep going lower with the price? I'll keep buying more shares at a lower price. What are you going to do now? You want to run Microsoft out of business to steal a few $1,000 from me? No, instead of running out of business, they went from $30 to $500 a share.
Hey, Ed.
So they went up, they didn't go down. And all that inventory I bought while it was going down, I sold it all off at a beautiful profit.
Hey, Ed, we've got an abbreviated session today, so it's take off your jacket time. We got to get into the Q&A, and some of the stuff you may not have covered are always covered on the Q&A anyway. But before we do that, I'm going to ask you, I don't know if you could keep this brief or not, maybe give one example. Please show everybody what you showed me yesterday with the new enhancements where you
Oh,
could
yeah.
put your cursor over pretty much anything on that screen. Watch this,
Anything.
folks.
You see this anywhere. If you're wondering what is closed positions P&L, well, click on the heading.
Look at
And it
this.
takes you right to the frequently asked questions.
That's
And it
great.
puts you right on that one. What is closed positions P&L? There it is.
Yeah,
And it
this is
describes it. It tells you
this is
what it is.
beautiful.
Any screen, and it pops up a new tab for that. You want to know what open positions P&L is? Click on that. Open positions P&L.
How great is that? How great is that, folks?
Anywhere over here, total
Unbelievable.
30-day profits taken. Click on that heading. What is 30-day profits taken? This displays the total profits generated from closed trades over the last 30 days starting from the listed date. It gives, I say starting from the listed date because there's a date under it.
Yep.
Because some people might have started 3 days ago, and the 30-day profits taken is only going to have 3 days of profits in it. So it's giving you a description on every screen. If I go to the next screen, the select currency screen, I can go down here. Oh, I still have to add these. See, you notice these don't have it on top. I'm going to add that. I'm going to add these. I only added that feature a couple days ago. So
Fantastic.
I didn't add it to those yet. But down
Okay.
in the descriptions down below, and every indicator, it tells you what it is. Max lots open in a single day. Click on that and it'll tell you what it is. What does max lots open in a single day do?
Wow.
And it explains it. The
Fantastic.
system automatically comes with, see these default settings? They're already set. The default settings are already set. These are what the default settings are. And you can see what your settings are.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah,
so you
that's great.
can, there are only a handful of settings and they're already set. As Attila puts it, don't touch anything. When you get the Autotrader, just turn it on and watch it crank out free money.
Well, the main
Because
reason I say that is
literally,
because
it's
in
free.
your own words, Ed, in the previous trader, you had 10 screens of ways that people could blow themselves up. So
Yeah, in
you
my
want,
old trader.
yeah,
Attila's
and
talking about my original trader that I
right,
released in 2001. It had 10 screens of things you could do because I gave everyone the ability to do whatever they wanted. And what I learned over all those years before I sold that company in 2017, I think it was, or 2018, when I sold that company off, what I learned during that time was people are just gambling. They don't know what they're doing. So I got rid of all that junk. And I took all the indicators, the top, stochastics, MACD, relative strength index, everything from technical analysis from A to Z. That's the book. You can go to eBay and buy it if you want for a few bucks. Technical
awesome.
analysis from A to Z. You should read it. And it shows you what is bullish, what is bearish. I put all that in the AI. So the AI has, if I go to AI, enable AI, AI is in the trader. I've always had AI in the traders. Oh, it's not giving you a description of AI? Or is it higher up? Does it? Oh, AI. All right, yes, Go Baby Trade has AI built in. And my auto traders always had AI built in. I never bragged about them. It's not, AI's been around since 1955. I started programming AI when I was at Microsoft in 1989, and my original auto traders had AI in them. So I took all 27 indicators from technical analysis from A to Z and I put it in the AI and I let the AI deal with it. AI is pattern recognition. And I let AI handle that. And then, so I don't have to bother with it in the trader. The trader can just call the AI and say, are we going up or are we going down? Tell me now. Tell me what it's doing. So, so the
Cool.
software then concentrates on one thing. Follow the money. Chase
Yep.
that dollar, chase that coin around. If you are literally like the tax man, because that coin can never go, if your trader is set to 3% profit goal right here shows it 3%.
Hmm.
If the coin, anytime it buys, it can never go up 3% without it selling and taking profit. So even if it's going lower, you might buy here, it drops another 3%, but it jumps around, remember, and we have these pauses, 60-minute pauses. It might jump 10% before you buy it again. But now all it has to do is go up 3% to sell it. Now, it doesn't go up 3%. Sometimes it gaps up. It might gap up 20%, and you'll take 20% profit. Plus any other inventory you bought along at a higher price, it's going to sell all that off also. So it's just constantly taking money. Now you can't go to the internet and say, "Hey, I'm the tax man," because you are like the tax man. For the rest of that coin's existence, they can never go up 3% from wherever they go. If they go anytime they go try to go lower, if they try to go higher 3%, they got to keep paying me, pay me, pay me, pay me forever. Now, if you put that on the internet, the tax company, the government will probably say he's not allowed to collect taxes. That's how immature they are. But it's just like that. It's just like taxes. It's like you're the tax man. You put a tax on that coin for the rest of its existence. ACH can never have a 3% up day without giving me money. And it doesn't have to be 3% in one day. It might go up 1% one day and 2% the next day. And then that adds up to 3%. You see this plus next to each coin? You can actually click on that plus and it tells you, see, this isn't a black box. I'm not hiding anything. It actually tells me the next estimated declining trade price. If the price goes to 17988, it's going to buy more. And the current price is 1.9. So it's 1.9 cents, and it's got to go to 1.7 cents to buy more if it's going lower. Now, if the price goes higher, then it says it's got to go to 5 cents before it's going to buy more higher. That's a gap. There's a gap between 2 cents and 5 cents. See that empty gap? I call that no man's land. No man's land. The software actually can add in that gap. It's called fill the gap or add to gap. Here it says added to decliner. If I go lower down, let's see what it says. Here's all the profit goal reached. Here's, it says added to declining position, but AI got involved and said, hold on, don't buy it yet. Even though the software said it wants to buy it because it's going down, the software said, don't buy it yet because the AI says it's going to go lower. Okay, you have those. Added to decliner. Let's see. You know, you're going to see in your trader add to advancers, add to decliners, added to gaps to fill a gap, because we want to stay where that price is forever. We want to stay wherever that price goes, we go. You know, here's profit goal reached, AI. And what that means is the price was higher and the software wanted to take profit, but then it said, hold on, the AI stepped in and said, hold on, don't take that profit yet. That price is going higher in the next few minutes. Now, someone asked in the chat, I saw one question in the chat that said, if I buy XRP at 3 and it goes to 100, will the software wait until it goes to 100? No. If the software goes to 100 within like in the next half hour, it can wait. But it's not going to wait forever. It's going to, because otherwise you're missing all these up and down moves while you're waiting for it to go to 100. If you want to wait for it to go to 100, then set your profit goal to a crazy number like that. If you don't like 3% moves up and down, then you could set it at 10%. You could set it at 30%. The problem is, if you set it at a big, you want 30% profits, you're going to miss all the 3% moves, the 4s, the 5s. You're going to miss all the, a lot. Where is it? The alchemy pay. You're going to miss a lot of these wiggles if you're waiting for big 30% jumps. So don't worry about trying to hold something until it goes to the moon. You're going to miss all the action down below. You're going to miss all this moves while you're waiting for it to go up 30% or 100%.
Ed, I'm sorry to interrupt. You know, I don't interrupt you very often, but I got to hear because we got sidetracked. But thank you for sharing the upgrades.
Well, you guys can go and I can just keep talking to the audience for the next couple hours.
We don't need to go yet. We need to get into the Q&A. So Edward, we got like 10 questions queued up. You want to start attacking the first one?
Yep. Let me do this first. We always give a shout out. We haven't yet to Crypto Casey. That's probably how you got here, or somebody recommended Crypto Casey, and that's how you got here. Excellent. So we mentioned at the very beginning that that Mr. Barsano has generously discounted the software for all of Crypto Casey's followers and subscribers. She's great. We handpicked her. She's not the world's largest influencer, but we like her because she educates our audience, which is what we're all about, right? The money is not our focus. It's right up there with oxygen, but it really—
She's very intelligent, though. Also,
it really is a focus on you knowing what you're doing and the ability for you to automate as much of your financial life as possible in a literally a set it and forget it environment. As I said, people are out there telling you it doesn't exist, but in the meantime, I'm going to post her discounted link. It takes $1,000 off the purchase price of the software, right? So if you go directly to gobabytrade.com without using this discount link, it will cost you $4,499. Why pay extra when you can take advantage of a discount? It doesn't get less expensive ever except for through our relationship with Mr. Barsano, his team and company. There's been some rumblings that the retail price of the software may go up. And if you've heard Crypto Casey talk, we actually had her on live August 20th. Go to Financial Intelligence for You on YouTube and you'll be able to see it. I asked her, non-prompted, non-scripted, I said, Casey, now that you understand what this thing does, and by the way, you'll also see on that same recording that when she met us, she thought it was a scam. Went and bought the software without our knowledge, paid retail price so for her audience, she could keep an unbiased position. We didn't hear from her for 3 months. She obviously employed it in the background. 3 months later, she called us and said, guys, we have to talk. This thing really works. She released a video that said it's the holy grail of trading. She's also said that she's tried everything else on the planet. And then I asked her, okay, now that you said that, what do you believe the value of the software is? Without hesitation, her answer was 25 grand a year. Good news. You're not going to pay that. Right? You're going to pay a discounted $3,499. Another little add-on that Mr. Barsano allowed. Even if the software goes up on a retail level, if you're in, you're in. You get to renew it for as long as you want, because this is a life trader. It's a 3-year license. And if I say, give me $5,000 and I give you 20 back, how many times are you going to renew this license? All the time.
Well, people don't cancel. That
Right.
would be very
Well,
rare.
Right.
They just don't cancel. So anyway, I just posted the link. I'm also going to post, if anybody has any questions outside of this, there are 2 emails that you want to copy and keep in your records. One is RCT marketing, support at rctmarketingsystems.com. The other is support at Go Baby Trade. Both of those will get you to your answer. However, let me ask you, please do this. Go to what you saw in the frequently asked questions and ask your question there, because there's a very high percentage chance that it's already been answered. If it's not been answered, then send an email. If it's a non-technical question, send it to support at RCT Marketing Systems. And if it's a highly technical question, or if you own the trader or thinking about the trader and want some technical advice of how to properly set it up, although there really is nothing to do because it's defaulted to just simply make you money, then send an email to support at gobabytrade.com.
All right, thanks for that, Edward. That's great information. Let me tackle the first question here. It's from Matthias, and he says, I've got a question about the use of Coinbase/Kraken. I understand. I'm going to answer most of this and then hand the tail end off to Ed Barsano. I understand Coinbase is recommended, but why, if the fees are higher, even with the rebates of Coinbase One that are only 0.25% less? Okay, first of all, we really don't recommend either one. We just know that the majority of Crypto Casey's audience uses Coinbase, and here's why. There's on Coinbase, you could fund your trader using US dollars or USDC, which is technically a crypto. It's a stable coin. On Kraken, it's only US dollars. They understand clearly there are inherent benefits to you long term and tax-wise for staying in crypto. Nobody says you have to go back into fiat money. That's a taxable event. On Coinbase, you could trade out of USDC and stay in stablecoin once you take your profits. There's a lot of options there. You could buy more crypto using that USDC and you stay in crypto. You could send that to a debit card, a crypto debit card. There's so many options. So now, Mr. Barsano, touch on the fact that your numbers, when somebody makes a profit, or the trader takes a profit, that's net, correct, of the fees.
Yeah, the software actually raises the profit goal. Like if your profit goal is 3%, the software actually raises the profit goal to encompass the fee that they're charging. So if they add if they charge 0.5%, they tell us before we submit the close order what the fee is going to be, and we add that to the profit goal. So we raise the profit goal a little. So you've already covered the profit goal, the fees in the trade. Plus, they're giving you reduced fees through Coinbase, because we trade through Coinbase Advanced, which is reduced fees. And then they also lower the if you sign up for Coinbase One, it's another feature that they actually give you a tax report at the end of the year so that you can just file with your taxes, which makes life real easy there, because you're going to have thousands of trades. You don't want to fiddle with that, trying to do any matching up there. They handle all that.
But you also get
they do a tax thing with the way they keep track of the trades, where they actually lower your taxes a lot. So that's another thing. Plus, they have a portfolio. You can create portfolios, so you could actually manage. I mean, I've got people who have 4 Go Baby Trade accounts, and they do it all from within one Coinbase account, because they create individual portfolios inside their Coinbase account. So they have a husband account, a wife account, and an account for each kid. And the kid could be 4 years old. It doesn't matter how old they are because you're doing it all from one Coinbase account, from an
Yep.
adult's Coinbase account.
Let me say this
I
as
mean, there are a
well.
lot of benefits to that, but Kraken's just as fine. I mean, we have a lot of people at Kraken too. They're both U.S. based exchanges. That's what's important to me. I
The
didn't automate some foreign exchange.
Right, right. The last thing is that I'll say I've been in this space full time, 5 years, and let me tell you, don't ever sweat the fees, folks. We are so early in this space. We're fortunate to be able to participate. So do you really want to sweat the fees when you're earning a fortune and you're in a new asset class that could turn you into a multimillionaire? Do you really care? When I
Well,
was new in this
some of these
space,
companies are multi-million-dollar companies that should be
yeah,
going for $20 a share instead of going for 1.9 cents. To me,
I
that's a
mean,
joke. I call it an insult to humanity.
I've been dreaming my whole life to be early in a space like this. And do you think I'm going to care about the fees? You
Mhm.
know, don't sweat the small stuff. Just put your money to work in the trader. The fees will all work out. They're tax deductible too, by the way.
Do you see all
Okay.
these trades down below in the filled orders? I wanted to make a comment. You see all these trades, and if I just scroll higher and higher, all these trades going every day, every other
You
day.
wanted to
Look
make
at
what?
all this free money. I call it free money. The auto trader did not forecast any of that. The auto trader just went with wherever the money goes, we go. We buy lower, we buy low, sell higher, buy, sell, buy, sell. The market provides all the liquidity we need. It's just free money. There's no, the market never goes straight up or straight down. It wiggles, and that's where the auto trader, as Edward puts it, the auto trader eats volatility. This is free money as best I can tell. I mean, it's been like this since 2021, really. It's just, I mean, since 2001 in the stock market. It's just free money. Why people feel like they have to gamble, that's one for the analyst, the therapist to discuss,
Edward, you want to take the next one?
Sure. Actually, let me take an easy one first. Carrie, if your choice coins are not moving, is it wise to change to change to coins that are? No. No.
What has changed
Let
me?
me
Want
give
me to
you
sell this coin that I bought it that I'm $91,000 of inventory that I'm sitting on? I'm not gonna stop trading that.
no. Well, let me
I
let
mean,
me
no
let me
way.
give you some in-depth therapy. Why? Why do I say no immediately? Think about it this way. This gentleman started this trader in April of 21. To now, that's 90+% down. But you heard him say earlier,
The coin is the price of the coins.
fact,
The market is, yeah.
fact. He has taken across the board, maybe not all at once, maybe not all 1 year, but fact, 4.5 years later, after releasing this, every performance indicator has showed 100% a year or more. Okay. No, don't believe it. It's fact. If it's hard to believe, particularly when you hear all the people in suits on CNBC tell you, wow, if over time you can make 10% on your money, over time you're going to be wealthy. Or if you subscribe to the Warren Buffett theory, which I'm not putting him down, he's one of the smartest investors on the planet, but that is old school dinosaur methodologies. If it just doesn't work anymore. If between as fast as we print money, called debasement, because every time they print money, the value of your purchasing power goes down, right? That's robbing you again. Oh, by the way, nobody talks about that piece. Everybody talks about inflation. And inflation, if you believe inflation's 2.3% by what you see on the talking heads, obviously you've not been out and buying stuff at the store lately, right? Between the two, you better be making 20% on your money year over year if you're breaking even. If not, you're making you're all you're doing is getting poor really, really slow. But you'll never be just over broke unless you find something that breaks the mold. You now see that breaking the mold.
Well, you know what's nice about this? I never think about inflation and all that stuff. I frankly don't care. To me, $1 million is $1 million, whether it was 10 years ago or it's today. It's still nice to have $1 million, right? So I don't think about inflation. What I think about is I have a Visa card, a Coinbase Visa card, right? And everywhere I go, I use that card. It doesn't give me any cash back. What it does is it takes the cash out of my Visa, out of my Coinbase, my USDC. It actually uses my cash that I have sitting there. I can't spend the amount of money that I make in my auto traders in a month. Like already, in the last 30 days, this trader, this is a trailing, since 8/18, a trailing 30 days. This is a slow month. This is only one of my traders. I have other ones that even make a lot more. But I mean, it's taken $2,500. You know, how am I going to spend that going to grocery stores? I spent $283 at I can't remember the name of the store yesterday. A
Trader
grocery
Joe's.
store. No, it wasn't Trader Joe's. It was another one just like that. Sprouts.
Sprouts.
I was surprised that 283 sounded like a lot. But anyways, when I use the card to pay, when I put it on there, my brain automatically says the same thing all the time. The card that keeps on giving. I never have to make a payment. And the auto trader keeps putting more money into my account than I could ever even spend. So it's like, I mean, it's free money. I mean, who wouldn't want this? This is what I've heard people call it, the ultimate savings account. You just plow. The more money you have, the more money it makes. Remember I said somebody mentioned that they were making 5 cents a trade? That 5 cents a trade was still representing over 100% a year annualized. With the amount of money she was actually making. She was making over 100% a year. So it's like the auto trader's doing what it can do. You want it to make more money, throw more money in. I mean, I'll be honest, she was sitting on $41,000 worth of Bitcoin. And I'm like, dead money. If you want your auto trader to make more, well, then maybe you should close the Bitcoin. I didn't tell her that, though. It's not my job to tell you to sell your Bitcoin. But to me, you're sitting on $41,000 worth of cash that auto trader would be having a field day with if it could trade with it, instead of giving it a couple $100 to trade with.
Yep. 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 Well, you're extraordinarily fortunate for yourself and your family's legacy to create something that literally creates more cash than you can spend. Everybody needs to have that exact same problem. And going back for a second about the inflation and debasement, right? People feel it very slowly. That it's death by 1,000 cuts. You don't lose it all at once, but we did a report, and anybody that wants it, send an email to the support. We'll send you a copy that compared the last 50 years, 1975 to 2025, 50 years in the power of your money. What was $1 in 1975 is the purchasing power of 16.7 cents
Well,
today.
that's why we have short lifespans. We can't live too long because I don't know if a person that is used to paying a nickel for a candy bar can stand paying $1 or $1.50.
True.
I mean,
we
so
gotta move.
you just get old and die because
Yep.
you just can't stand what you're looking at.
Yep. All
Everything's
right.
higher. There are no penny candy stores anymore.
So, Mr. Barsano, the next question is directed to Mr. Barsano. Would you consider adding a quick add new lot size button to the non-active coins that the auto trader is no longer trading or has never traded before? Okay, let me
I don't know
continue.
what that means.
Let me continue. Maybe it clears up. On some days, cryptos are down 10 to 20%, and it's a good opportunity to assist the auto trader to get quickly to add button. Well, you're gonna have a
Well,
field day with this.
I mean, you can always click.
hold on.
No, you have it
What?
right here. Click add.
I know, but you're going to tell them why that's not the smartest thing to do, because you throw off all of the logic of the predetermined money that it's going to manage all the
Well,
way
it's going to
along.
use the money that you had allocated for other coins. So if I go here, if I go to the select currency screen, and you can see I've allocated so much money to each coin. If I tell this auto trader to spend you know, 10,000 more dollars of ACH, that's going to take that 10,000 away from that 17,000. So that's going to reduce reduce the available funds remaining for that coin to 7,000. And that means as it goes lower, it's going to have less money to work with, definitely. I don't recommend, you know, doing that very much, what you described there. Just because you see an up day doesn't mean you're not going to see the next 7 days down.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
anytime you buy a coin, there's no way to know whether it's going to go up or down. Think of that. So never get excited on up days, because up days are fake. Because, I mean, once you bought the coin, now you're just waiting. It's either going to go up or it's going to go down. If it goes down, you're going to buy more down here. If it goes up, you're going to sell what you bought there. If the auto trader wants to add more, then let it add more automatically. I'm not really in favor of manually doing stuff. If the market goes up, if I feel like the market's heading up a lot, I can always go to my managed profits here on the lower left. And I can say, this is the profits that are saved, that are just sitting there. This is actual profits that it made, and the auto trader's not using it. It's just sitting there. I can go to edit there, and I can say minus 10,000 out of the save bucket. That would reduce the saved money to 9,000. What is that?
96,000.
96,000 from 106,000, and it would free up that 10,000 for the auto, you know, to let the auto trader use the extra money so that it can buy in bigger lot sizes. You know, but I don't really use these buttons up here, add and close. I'm not in favor of it. I do know some people that do it. I know two brothers. They don't live near each other, but they both have auto traders, and they call each other and say, "Hey, ACH just, you know, dropped this much," you know. So they'll jump in and buy 10,000. They'll just click on add, and they'll say buy 10,000 more dollars worth of that coin, and then it goes up, and then it just sells off profitably. And you know, you can do, there's stuff you can, you know, it's
Right.
again, it's not a black
It-
box. It's you're in
Right.
control of whatever you want to do.
Right.
You
Right.
can manually trade. Just don't use up all your money, you
Yeah.
know, because the software only has so many funds to work with. When you buy
Yeah.
something manually, you are taking it away from
Yep.
money the
Cindy,
auto trader.
Cindy just made a comment that
Using.
defeats the, and I'm adding to it, that defeats the whole idea of set it and forget it. If you want a
Agreed.
stress-free life to
Agreed.
employ your money and go enjoy your life, guess what? With this, it's very easy, and this is a bold statement. It's very easy to make money, a lot of money over a lifetime. Think of 100% compounded, or even 30% compounded over a lifetime. But guess what?
Yeah, and
Guess
you
what
will get that.
Guess what money does not buy? Time. You want to spend all your time figuring out how to try to defeat millions of lines of code?
3
Have
million.
at it. They give you those add and close buttons ought to be on some of the stuff that you got rid of, Ed. The 10 screens to blow yourself up.
No,
Right?
some people want
Right.
to do it, and you know what?
Right.
Once you get comfortable with the whole thing, you realize the market's so simple. I mean, you can use the features. I mean, you can use the add and close and
All right,
all.
guys, we got to get on to the
I mean,
rest of the
it's once you
questions.
get your auto trader, you get so comfortable with it, you can do stuff. It's not the end of the world.
Matthias,
Well, you can look down here and see how many. Look at down below, and you see how many times where you're only buying and not selling. On 8/7, it was loading up, and then on 8/7, it sold it all off. Everything that it bought in the morning, it sold in the evening, you know, on the same day. But you can sit here.
my final statement on that is why mess with perfection.
Uh,
But you can see it doesn't go very long without taking profits, because the wiggles are always there.
all right. Now, let me get to this, Edward. Let me get to Matthias's question about buying on going down. We go for some meme coins. Some of them could go down and never recover ever because they are not Bank of America or Bitcoin.
Then don't trade them. If you feel
then,
that way, don't trade a coin you think is going to go out of business.
Then
These
how
are all
careful?
utility coins. Look at this. These are all utility.
Hold
The
on,
top
Ed.
five.
Let me just finish his question. He says, then how careful should we be about the selected coins to trade? Well, like Ed is showing now, you have this billion-dollar report where you could be very careful. But let me say this. The meme coins that Mr. Barsano has in the default button, the top five, several of those, if you go to CoinMarketCap and you look up the market cap of like let's say Bonk has a $2 billion market cap. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? Yes, it's a meme coin, but I mean, there's been traditional companies around in the US for 50 years that don't even have 1/10 of that market cap. Okay, these are massive companies now. If you want to
And they got
buy,
a lot of activity.
yeah, I mean, don't buy, the cat crosses the street at midnight meme coin. That's ridiculous, they just
Sui is
started.
real popular. SUI, real
Yeah,
popular. A
right,
lot of
right.
people trade Sui.
Yeah. I say stick to the default ones or the top 20 that are here. You can't go wrong. So
Yeah, I
thank you,
just helped
Matthias.
someone just yesterday open up a live account. It's his second live account, by the way. He already had one and he opened another one. And he grabbed these five right off the top five coins right here. Same thing I did a month ago. I opened up another account. I threw 150,000 in it, and I didn't even think about it. I just said, hey, I'm just gonna trade the top five coins right here. These top two coins, Swift and SPA, they've been the top two for 6 months, man. It's like they just keep cranking out free money. It's like, it's
Well,
an
we got,
insult to humanity. The market is a joke.
yeah.
Seriously. Stay
Well,
away from my recommendation, and I'm not an investment advisor, would be stay away from the junk at the bottom. All these coins that hardly even move,
yeah,
you
this is
know?
not rocket science. This is not hard to understand, folks. This is,
It's the same as running a 7-Eleven without the bricks and mortar. You don't have to hire anybody, you don't have to stock shelves,
hmm,
you don't have to do any leases or anything like that. You don't have to have somebody at the cash register, cashing people out and all that. It's the same thing. We put product on the shelf and we sell it at a higher price, and everybody act like we invented sliced bread. I'm like, I didn't invent anything, man. I'm just doing what we've been doing for thousands of years.
yeah,
For some reason, people think that all commerce, the way commerce has been done forever, and you can all think about the business you're in or the company you're in. What do you guys do? How about this smart water? You think they're selling it to me at a price at a lower price than what they paid for it? No. They produce this water at a low price and they're selling it to me at a higher price. Done. It's how commerce
yep,
is done. And they
true
did
that.
proper money management. They made sure they didn't run out of money while they're running their business. You got to make sure that you have enough money at the end of the month to pay the electric, the utilities, and all the other expenses. It's called money management. And the software does it all 100% for you. I took all the sport out of the market.
Right.
Yep.
Well, all right. Sam directs a question towards Mr. Barsano, but I'm going to take a stab at it.
And
And
that's not fair.
no,
All right, go ahead. You can have
if
it.
Go Baby Trade was a business, what valuation annual multiplier would you give that business? I think the standard is 5%, but my guess is that Go Baby Trade business is a much higher multiplier. Well, I don't know. Let me answer, and then you can throw
I don't
your
even know what that
2 minutes.
means.
Well, it means that what is the valuation of the company? Well, I don't know
Of
any
Go Baby
company.
Trade?
No. The trader
Yeah.
against, if it were a business, if the trader were a business, what would its multiplier be? Right? The multiplier is normally against cash flow and liquidity and market cap. I don't know. My answer is that if you have a business that is doubling every year, the multiplier is 100%.
Yeah, I don't know where anybody gets 100% returns anywhere in their real businesses. Maybe they do, but they're working for it for sure.
Yeah,
This is just like, hey, you know what? You got $100,000 sitting in a bank. You can easily deposit $100,000 in here and watch it crank out money instead of waiting for some statement to come in the mail. You can watch it make money daily.
right. If it's
You
in the
know?
bank, you're not making 100% in a lifetime, at least
I
not
can
in.
tell you, I talk to a lot of people, and people are bending over backwards trying to find money to put in their accounts. I mean, some people are getting credit cards in the mail, statements saying, you got a $3,000 credit limit. They're turning it into cash and they're throwing it in an auto trader, and they're paying 30% on that credit card. I'm like, that's insane. That's an insane rate. But if you're getting 100% return on the money,
It's
then
still
it
free
becomes
money.
worthwhile. I know people that are mortgaging their houses to get extra money to throw into the auto trader. People are going crazy. Once you get it, then you're going to go nuts trying to find money to put into it. More money, because the more I tell you, let me tell you, a guy with $1 million gets 100% return. That's $1 million. A guy with $1,000 gets 100 return. That's 1,000. There's a big difference. The more money you have, the more money it makes. It's just simple math. And I even put a video out that says, don't mortgage your house, don't do the credit card thing, don't don't go crazy. I know another guy that said he's selling all his rental properties because he makes so much money on those rental properties, but he could actually sell the buildings and make a lot and put all that into his auto trader and make a heck of a lot more. Once you get an auto trader, you're done with this planet. I'm going to tell you, I've been done with this planet since 2020 or 2001. As far as money goes, because I figured out how to just crank out free money for life. And it's not
Sure.
even, and it's out there, and I don't understand the talking heads on TV, those guys with the suits and the ties, and they're talking about all the stuff, derivatives and all this stuff. I'm like, oh God, they're muddying that thing up so bad, man. Who can make any money listening to anything those guys say on like CNBC, I think it is.
Yeah.
The talking heads out there, they're just blah 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 blah. It's like, shut up. It's free money. You don't even have to do
Not
anything.
sure if I'm pronouncing this person's name correctly, but I think it's Anik. Question, are there different levels of financial contributions that dictate different trading strategies? For example, 10,000 versus 25K versus 100, etc.
Nope. No, you can go and look around out there. I never had a competitor, by the way, for when it came to my robotic traders, when it was just the stock market from 2001 all the way till 2023, I think it is. And I never had a competitor. I was always looking over my shoulder. I'm like, where are the competitors? There's got to be some competitors out here because I'm getting bigger and bigger and smarter. And my software's getting more robust over the years. And I'm like, I'm getting so far ahead of everybody, and I have no competitors. And then all of a sudden, in the last couple of years, they got all these things they call bots that are popping up all over, AI bots and all that. I'm like, oh brother, what a bunch of baloney. But anyways, I call them all fake. And I saw one of them the other, not too long ago. Someone asked me to look at some. I don't really look at the other things out there because I know I'm so far that they're not doing what I'm doing. One of them said you can pick from 50 strategies. I'm like, 50 strategies? Dear God, you know how many I have? One. We're all running the same strategy. I don't have magic. I didn't reinvent the commerce. I just took commerce and put it in the box and said, there's commerce. There it is. Buy it, sell it, buy it. That's all the market is. I'm not buying these companies because I love them. If you're running a 7-Eleven and you don't like buttercups or whatever, then it doesn't mean you're not going to sell them. I don't drink Monster drinks and all that, but I know they must sell a lot because if you look at the coolers, they're full of those things.
Yep.
So it's like they must be selling a lot of that stuff. Otherwise, they wouldn't be putting it there. They wouldn't be selling it. So it's the same thing here. It's just numbers. I mean, you can just look at a chart. Look at all that up down action. Give me a break. This is free money if I ever saw it.
Hey,
Free
Ed.
money. And
Hey,
some people will, when the market's really going down like 5 days in a row, people panic and go, oh man, because they're getting pressure from family and friends. They're saying, get out, you're going to lose everything. They're making a fool of you. The market's, these coins aren't real. And they're listening to all that propaganda. And they want to dump the coins at a loss at the bottom. I'm like, man, don't do to me. the biggest money you're going to make is all that stuff you bought at the bottom, and because a little run up and boom, you sell it all off profitably.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Same
it's just
person.
free money. The biggest money you're going to make is the stuff you bought at the bottom when times, you ever hear no pain, no gain? That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. You
I
want to,
had this.
your DNA doesn't like things going down. When somebody buys a coin, in their mind, it's going to go straight up. The auto trader doesn't look that way. The auto trader says, when I buy a coin, I don't know where it's going to go, but if it goes down, I'm going to buy more. Someone asked me that question about the what is it every year that Bitcoin does? Bitcoin halving.
Yeah. Every
They
4
call
years.
it Bitcoin halving. They said, "What are you going to do, for preparation?" By the way, the last time it was supposed to happen, it didn't happen, right? So that was a scam. So, but everybody, they feel like they can predict stuff. I don't predict anything. I can't predict it. I don't need to. So, anyways, they said, "What are you going to do in preparation for the Bitcoin halving?" I said, "All right, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. My auto trader is going to do it for me. If the prices go lower, it's going to buy more. And if the prices go higher, it's going to sell and lock in the profits." That's it. That's it. I'm telling you, the market's an insult to humanity. And if you think it's more than that, then dispute it. We have an open forum here. Talk. Nobody can ever argue with it because there's no argument to make. Everybody already knows that's how business is done. You buy it at one price, you sell it at a higher price. We're not violating any laws or anything. I didn't reinvent the wheel. I just automated it.
Hmm. All right. The same person asks, this is an interesting answer, if you could keep it to a minute. Why do you have a limit of $2 million per account?
Oh, that's a real easy one. I didn't create this for the rich guys, the wealthy. I created this for everyday people. When I
Yep.
set out to automate the market after I got hammered in the 2000 crash, where I just felt like I was robbed, okay? And, because we didn't know any better, we had margining and we 2-to-1 margin, and we weren't, you know, back in the 90s, if any of you were in the market in the 90s, all you had to do was buy a bunch of tech stocks and you were fine. And everything was going higher and higher, and that was it. And so I didn't know anything about the market. I didn't need to really. I was in everything, and I was just making money hand over fist. But then, then in 2000, they pushed the coins down or the stocks down too far. They did that on purpose. They just robbed us in essence. And then, you get margin calls and all, and you end up selling everything at the bottom because we weren't doing money management that the software is doing. With the software, you don't care where the price goes. It could drop 90%. And some of these coins have dropped. I started trading in one of my other traders. I started trading Alchemy Pay at 12 cents a share. It is now at 2 cents. You would think I was getting killed in that auto trader. In that auto trader, that's another auto trader. I took 350,000 in profits, and it's only down, I think, 50,000 also in open inventory. So you can't, that 350,000, they can never get back. So I took all those profits while the coin was dropping 90%. I'm still sitting on inventory, a lot of inventory that I bought along the way. I'm not worried about it. Every time we have a big jump, it sells a whole bunch of it off. Like that school bus full of kids pulls in, and you just sold off all those potato chips. It's the same thing. So I don't care. I'm sitting on inventory. That's okay. You can be sitting on inventory. You could be sitting on Bitcoin, sitting at 115,000. That thing really hasn't moved in the last month. Once it broke 100,000 and it went to 120 and it came back down, it's been sitting idle. How long are you going to be sitting on that and making nothing? All your money's tied up. Or how about silver dollars? How many people are sitting on silver dollars right now? A lot of you, I bet, are. You're just sitting on dead money. It happened to go to 40,000 finally after 20 years. You've been watching. I've been watching silver. It finally went to 40,000 or $40 an ounce. You know, before that, it was just going from $10.50 to $22 or $29, then all the way back down to $16, up and down, up and down. You're sitting on dead money. If you're waiting for something to go to new highs, you're sitting on dead money. I wouldn't be waiting for that. I like to be liquid. The software does all the math. No matter where the price goes, they could drop it 90%. So we're down here. ACH went from 12 cents down to 2 cents, and it's just going up and down, up and down, up and down here. And I just keep taking free money forever. You want to go higher? Go higher. Just don't go to zero, because zero means the company's out of business. Other than that, you're just going to keep giving me free money forever. And that inventory that I bought on the way while it was going down, I'll just sell it off. Like when it went from 2 cents to 5.6 cents, and I sold all that inventory off. And then it went back down to 2 cents again. I'm like, fine, that's great. Or L3 the other day, you know, a few weeks ago when it went up 50%, and I sold off everything it bought on the way down, and then it bought it right back after it dropped the same day. It just
Hey,
dropped
Ed,
50% again.
same person, last question from this same person, and this might be the last question today. How many trades are completed in average per day?
There is no average. You see, you can't do that
Yeah.
because that's not fair. Look,
Yep.
this coin's not even up 1%. This coin's up about 0.5%. This coin's up just a little over 1%. It's not doing anything today. What do you want? You can't do anything if the coins aren't moving. Anybody that thinks you're going to make money in the crypto market when a coin is not moving is delusional. Because when you buy it at one price, it's got to move. It's got to either go up or go down 3%, right? That's the rule. You can set it to 1% profit, profit goals if you want. Be my guest. You can just go to this select currency screen or edit strategy screen, same screen. You can set your profit goal to 1%, and you can go down here and say add shares on 1% drops. People do it. And they're getting, in a slow market, then maybe that's a good thing to do. I think we have too many up days where we're up 5%, 6%. And then when you get multiple days up in a row, you could be up 20% in these coins. I'm not selling out at 1% profits when a coin could be up 20% in a week. I'm kind of 3% seems to me the magic number. But you're not getting anything today. If I look over here, today is what's today, the 16th?
17.
So today's the 17th. This trader hasn't done anything since the 15th. Nothing for the last 2 days, or even nothing since. Well, it's done all these buying on the 13th, and the 15th. It did all that buying. The last sell it had was on the 13th. The thing is, what you don't get is I've got the market trapped in this window, and the coin can't leave the window. I've got the market trapped, and this is why it's diabolical. Because this coin I'm only up just about 1%. Oh, here it is here. ACH. It's up. It just jumped a little. It's up 1.29%. So until it's up 3%, this lot isn't going to sell. Now, the lot that it bought above that, the next one, is down 6.9%. I'm not worried about that one. I'm only worried about the most recent one that it bought. That's the one it's going to sell. That's one that's going to go up 3% first. And until it does it, it doesn't. There's no time frame on these wiggles. There's no time frame between buys and sells. It's whatever the market wants to do. The market could give you 50% in a day. It can give you 100% in a day, or it can give you 3% in a day. It's like whatever the market wants to do. I'm not here to dictate to the market, and anybody who thinks they can dictate to the market, is wrong. You can't tell the market what to do. It's going to do whatever it wants to do. And, and that's it. It's the software is waiting for the threshold. This one's up 1.86%. If I was desperate for $40 more, I could go ahead and click close on this lot right now and lock in that $40 of profit. But I'm not going to do it. Not even for 1 penny would I do it. it's telling me right here that it's got to go to 27802 for my target. The current price is 27296. It'll buy more if it goes down to 25385. So if it goes down, it's going to buy more. If it goes up to 27802, it's going to be up. It'll be up over 3%, and it'll take the profit. Or I can manually close it right now, hit close this lot, and just close that and lock in that $40, which I'm not going to do because I don't care about it. Whatever. I love the idea that I've got the market trapped in a box all the time. All these coins have the market trapped. They can't breathe. I don't let the market breathe without giving me money. You got each one of these buys has a window around it. It says when you go lower, I'm going to buy more. I'm going to add to that buy, that last purchase. And if it goes higher, I'm going to lock in that profit. Don't look at daily profits. That's a big mistake you're making there, because it's up to the daily move, today's move, whether or if it's going to accumulate by, you know, how much it went up today along with how much it went up yesterday. Until that coin is up 3%, it's not going to sell it. And don't look at daily profits, because then you're just being manipulated by the daily market. Like this coin is down 1.11%, you know, today. You know, it's not going to do anything on a sloppy day, you know. But we could have, now say we did this, you know, last week. When we did it last week, these coins were all up a lot, and we were watching. We actually watched it do trades while we were talking. You know, we actually saw it close positions a week ago. But, you know, there they are. You know, these are all real money, you know. From 9.7 to 9.12, it was just giving me free money. And this money is what adds up to 50 to 100% a year profits in a down market. Remember, we are in uncharted territory here. The last 4 years has been a down to sideways market. It's been down mostly and sideways. Wait until this market actually turns into an uptrend and you start getting, you know, we watched it go down for 4 years. What's going to happen when that uptrend turns to up? You know when that's going to happen? When all the whales have accumulated enough shares at the bottom. You know why? Because, I mean, like the Trump Family Trust is sitting on $7 billion worth of crypto. They didn't buy it all at the bottom. They were buying it along the way, and he knows this trend is going to turn up, and everything you bought is all going to sell off, because these little coins here should be sitting at $2, not 2 cents. These coins are multi-million-dollar companies. They're gonna rocket, man, and when they do, that $7 billion that Trump has is going to turn into 70 billion. You watch. And
Yep. And
right
hey,
there.
we are way over time. However,
Sorry.
Cindy asked, can you please explain, like I'm a fifth grader, why is it better to have equal funds selected as a default rather than equal shares? There you go, Cindy.
All right, I'll give you a quick answer on that. Equal shares is in a long-term downtrending market. We didn't even have equal funds on here. I added that. Okay? I added it when the market started. We started having some updates after the election. If you guys go back and look at your calendar on November 5th, November 4th or 5th, I started noticing that these coins started making bigger moves. And in equal shares, if you're buying it, I'll just tell you mathematically, very simply, if you're buying an equal number of shares and the coin price goes lower, then that means I'm paying less for those shares, right? That means I'm investing less dollars per trade. So the software is extremely conservative in a down market. As the price of the coins go down and I keep investing the same number of shares on each trade, then the amount of money I'm investing per trade, it gets smaller and smaller. The software is getting a conservative on the way down. Okay? But if the prices start going up, you're buying the same number of shares at a higher price, you're actually investing more money in an up market. So what's happening is the software gets conservative in a down market and it gets aggressive in an up market. Number one, protection. You got to learn how to protect your money, folks. And that's what the software automatically does. It gets conservative in a down market. I mean, think about it. When do you want to run in and throw all your money in? When do you get crazy thoughts like that? It's in an up market. See, you want to be more aggressive in an up market. And the software automatically does that. However, we are sitting at the bottom. All these coins right now are ridiculously low. It's an insult at the prices they're sitting at, considering where they were 4 years ago. I mean, this is crazy, man. I mean, GRT was sitting at $1 4 years ago. It's sitting at 9, almost 10 cents. That's a joke. That means
Hey, Ed.
the whales have loaded up at the very bottom. They're loading up like crazy because they know it's going to go back to the dollar. And when it does, they're going to sell all that off.
Ed,
So
I'm going to
that's-
call some.
that's
I'm going to call somebody out in the audience. Say, go back to your front page. Go back to your Okay. So, Richard, I'm going to say this. It's apparent you don't own the trader yet because your comments dictate it. Go back to your front page, right? His first question was, do the math. He didn't say do the math. I'm saying do the math. Can you divide $2,588.06 into the value that shows a percentage return? Well, the answer is it's 0.005%. So now I'm going to call you out and say, you do the math over a March, April, May, June, July, August. 2 years and 6 months. You do the math. He started with $200,000 in this account. It's taken $350,000 in profit. It still has a market value of $449,000, and he has $150,000 in open inventory. Tell me what that percentage is. This is a life trader over time.
And you own that coin all the way from the top. See all these lots? You're sitting on a fortune. That means anytime the coin has a big jump, anytime it does anything, tries to move, all that inventory you're sitting on, you sell it all off and take all that profit. And you're trying to do measurements based on a straight down market. Watch what happens when it turns up.
It's
And
never.
you're not in your case, you're probably not even going to be in the market because you're waiting for it to go up.
It's
or you're gambling. I'm not sure.
This trader's, he does. My apologies. He does own the trader, so I don't know what the root of that question is. Maybe it's just a bad day. But this trader's never seen an up market. So now I'm gonna have to call time. We're 11 minutes over. Unless you want to keep going.
But
Right?
if anybody has any questions, I'm open to
Well,
but I'm not a therapist, and this is not this is using simple math.
but
The name of the game is, you see, I keep going. Do you notice I keep going down here and looking at all the days of free money? This is what I look at.
yeah,
That's what's important. This over here, total profits taken, free money. That's what I'm looking at.
And how hard did you have to work for it?
That's what I'm looking at. I didn't have to do anything for it. It's just constant free money. I want you to go ahead and take your money and throw it in the bank and compare it day by day to what this is doing compared to what the bank's giving you.
Right.
Or any other investment for that matter.
Yep.
Take the same amount of money and compare it month over month, year over year, and compare what the difference is and look at how you get paid and what you have to do to earn that money.
Well, let me say this. Let me end it with this.
Here, you don't have to do anything.
So somebody bring me another software platform that has a 25-year track record so it could optimize what we're doing today, that is totally 100% set it and forget it. Every single person that's using it is pretty much satisfied, with one or two exceptions here and there. Obviously, there's no such thing as perfection. The only people that criticize it are the ones that don't own it. And
Can I say something very fast?
Yes.
Look at today's move, what's going on right now. Weren't all these negative a minute ago?
Yep.
This is what's going on now. Watch it. The market could take off and we'll start locking in money.
Again, there is nothing else like this, folks, out there. Like we said a minute ago, Mr. Barsano did nothing except start this account in February of 2023, and it's just spitting out money. It like turns his laptop into a money printing machine. Anthony's been with us a while. He says, this trader is a blessing in disguise. We have a full testimony from him. God bless you, Anthony, for being here again, week after week. We have hundreds and hundreds of satisfied customers. The test is over. This has been working successfully for 25 years. So sometimes we get people that say, hey, can I try it before I buy it? For what? To test it. The test is over. It's been successfully trading, taking profits like it is today for 25 years. What do you need to test? This is not will it work, could it work? It's working every day for ordinary folks. So, Edward, you want to say some final words?
Indeed, I do.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us. If you've joined or if you've registered for the Crypto Tax Summit, I'm super excited. I don't mind going over a little bit. I really wanted to keep everybody on time, but they're going to be able to provide a recording as well as you will receive a recording for this. And it will be up generally within 48 hours on, 24 hours on Financial Intelligence, the number 4, the letter U on YouTube. So watch out for that. I'm going to post Crypto Casey's discounted link if you didn't catch it before. I am going to do a little bit more housekeeping. Last week, as I said in the beginning, opened the doors for everybody to communicate amongst one another. Financial Intelligence just launched its community platform. And if you have not registered for the Crypto Tax Summit, I just posted that as well. So Financial Intelligence community invitation link. It's a free community. Spend time. A lot of people are giving some quality feedback. We're here to serve you. That's why we're here. Welcome back anytime that you want to join us. The same registration link that you used to get here will get you to us every single week. Come, explore, do your own research, put the time and effort into something that this gentleman has created that doesn't exist anywhere else on the planet. And by the way, don't forget the homework. Watch that video that talks about cash flow. Passive cash flow does not exist. And then tell me what you think is compared to what you saw today. With that,
Awesome.
Grateful, Attila, Ed, thank you so much for putting us in a position where we can conquer the market as well.
Awesome,
You're welcome.
guys. We'll see you
Always
next
my
week.
pleasure.
We're here
Yep.
every week. Go forth and multiply your money, and we appreciate your time. And it's been a pleasure to be able to educate people on what's going on here with this platform. It's really second to none, does not exist anywhere else. And Ed Barsano, like always, thank you so much for creating it and for helping us being live every single week with your time. So thank
Yes.
you.
And thank you to Crypto Casey for letting me speak to our audience. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Until next week. What do you say, Attila? Go forth and
Go forth and multiply your money, folks, with the trader. Take care, everybody.
all right.
And I
Cheers,
always
everybody.
say, go Navy.
Go Navy.
Go Navy.
Cheers.
That's where I got my start.
The tax summit is started 10 minutes ago. So
Yep.
somebody's asking, when is it? It's now.
It's now.
So, okay, guys, take care.
Take care. Bye.